That's being faithless. All right, because wherever brothers are, that's where the Lord has them. But trust me, man, the Lord works to where you might not even be in your city anymore. All right, he'll make things happen to push you somewhere else. So like I said, when the things pop off, just believe it. Every brother's gonna have his own situation. Some brothers may be caught up in the city. Some brothers might be in a FEMA camp, concentration camp. Some brothers might be out there in the wilderness, just roaming and surviving, and coming across certain other brothers, feeding them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Going into Mexico, further down into South America. We don't know. We just know that it's up to the Lord how everything's truly, fully going to be. But we know the great deliverance is going to be right here. And there's going to be a deliverance over there too. Because Yahweh Shai is going to come down from the heavens over there and go to war with Magog and the Russians, man. All right. So going back to Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of the Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. See? And the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of the land, the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. You see? So he's going to deliver us from all the lands that he has driven us. Because we know that we're dispersed from the four corners of the earth, man. All right? There's no doubt in that. We all know that. But it's going to be by that great sounding of a trumpet, man. Which is what? The chariots. All right? You have to have faith and believe in that. Okay? This is Isaiah 43:1. But now thus saith Yahweh, that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not. For I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. See? So the elect already belong to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're good. They're covered, man. We're just waiting for them to be sealed, because we know in Revelation chapter 7 that the angel that's holding the four winds of the earth back, all right, that said that the servants of the Lord have to be sealed upon their foreheads, which is 12,000 out of each tribe. But then after that, it's going to be a great multitude that follows after behind them, man. So we know that. So you have to consider that, man. We are his, the elect. Not all Israel, because we know 2/3 are going to perish and die. They're already dead. They're marked for death right now, man. All right. Isaiah 43:2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shalt the flame kindle upon you. You see? So you have to have faith that you're going to be delivered from that fire, man. That you're going to be delivered from these situations that we're going to go through. All right? We're going to go through things, man. We're going to go and see things that our minds that can't fully comprehend right now. But we're not exempt, because that's why the Lord said, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. And the righteous scarcely shall be saved. Scarcely be saved, man. Barely going to make it out of here. All right? That's why we need that heavenly intervention from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to do that. All right? So it says, when thou passest, is Isaiah 43:2. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. Just like when he brought us out of Egypt, man. What did we go through? That river. When he separated the waters, and we walked through on dry land to the other side. He was with us in that time, man. How much more now? You gotta have faith and believe that he's gonna continue to make these signs and great wonders to manifest, man. You gotta have faith in that, man. It says, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. You see? That's going through that fire, man. Them ICBM missiles. Because simultaneously at the blink of an eye, we're going to be delivered, man. All right? It's the sound of a trumpet. We're going to be caught up in the chariot, man. What the world call UFOs, man. You got to have faith in that, man. You got to have faith in that. But you're going to have brothers that are going to be martyrs. So there's no escaping that. If the Lord has you set up to be a martyr, you're going to die. You're going to die for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, but you're going to receive a crown of life, because you're going to go and you're going to be part of the 144, the 1/3, and we're going to meet you in heaven, because the brother's still out here living, man. You got to keep those things in remembrance, man. You can be a martyr over there in Mexico. You ain't going to escape the judgment that's coming, man. You're not going to escape your lot, man. Isaiah 43:3. For I am the Lord thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. You see, He is our Savior, not you, not you running away, not you being as a chased rope. You know, you have to have faith, man. The Lord will let you know when it's time to run. The Lord will let you know when it's time to move and leave your post. You know, you got to wait on His call, on His time. The Spirit will let you know, man. It says, I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Libya for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life. See? Because we're a peculiar, special people on the side of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Primarily being the elect. Those are the ones that He's looking towards to, man. That are precious to Him, man. That are dear to His heart, man. Alright, not the 2/3. Because not all Israel is Israel. You have to remember, Israel is Yasha'Allah, which means He is a Prince of Power. That's an honor to have that name, man. These 2/3 don't have that honor. Alright? It says Isaiah 43:5. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far and my daughters from the ends of the earth. He's going to call you, man. He's going to call you up in the sound of a trumpet. You're going to be taken up, man. You're going to be delivered. Even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. See? So you got to have faith in that, that the great deliverance is going to happen to you. You're going to be part of that, man. No matter where you at in the world. When Yahweh Shah says it's going to be that way, man. At the sound of a trumpet, man. You know? Go ahead and see. This is Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people. You see, so the first Exodus passed, so there's gonna be a second Exodus, right? Okay, that's that second time where the Lord is gonna shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people. What is that remnant? That's a small portion, a select few that are going to receive that deliverance. All right, you got to remember that, man. All right, this is Isaiah 1:9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So we're as a small remnant, man. Lord Yahweh Shah has left to Himself a small remnant that He's coming back to deliver, the first fruits, man. The chosen, the elect, that were predestined from the foundations of the earth, man. Alright? So I'm going to read it again, Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day, the Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people. That great deliverance, man. As spoken of in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, man. You got to take the things in consideration, man. You got to read, study, man. Watch the videos of the elders of Great Millstone. All right, starting with Elder Tahar all the way down to the least of the Akim within Great Millstone, man. All right. It says that the Lord shall set His hand again the second time to recover the remnant of His people. And who are His people? The Israelites, man. The Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, whether you want to believe it or not. All right, the bulk of them is what I'm naming them as, because we said we're going to be a byword in the midst of our enemy, man. We're going to be bywords, spics, niggas, beaners. That's what they be calling us out here, man. No matter where you go, whatever part of the land, that's what you're known as, man. That's who His people is. It says, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the seas. So we're scattered everywhere. But the Lord's going to recover us by his hand that second time, man. Which is the second, his return. By his son, Yahweh Shai. Via the way of chariots, man. All right, what these people call us UFOs, man. We know what they are. They're the angels of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Some people say they're demons. Some people say that they're engineered by the government. No, man. These things are from a whole different dimension, which we know as chariots, man. The angels of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? That's how he's going to recover and deliver his people, man. By that great sounding, like I said, that Michael shall stand up for his people, in that time. Going back to Daniel 12:1. It says in verse Isaiah 11:12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, man. How is he going to do that, man? He's going to do that via the way of the chariots, man. You got to have faith in that. You got to believe in that, man. All right? You got to understand what Revelation is talking about. You got to understand what Thessalonians is talking about when it's talking about that last trump. All right? Because if you don't have that understanding, it's going to go right over your head, man. How you're going to be delivered. How you going to escape the set perils. How you going to escape that ultimate destruction, which is the ICBM missiles, man. That's the main thing. Because before the missiles come, the Lord's going to guide you through all these different things. It tells you that in the book of Job. Go ahead and bring that out. This is Job chapter 5, verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. You see, so because we know there's going to be war, martial law. Everything's going to be going on. Everything that's negative, evil, and scary to somebody is going to be going on here in this land. But guess what? The elect are covered from all that. Because why? Because you did the work. You're doing what you're supposed to do, man. You were the elect. You were the chosen, that remnant, that small remnant that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is coming to get, man. All right, that pearl, man. That precious stone. All right, that precious gold, that silver. It says, Job 5:21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. You see, you're not going to be afraid, man. There's no reason to be afraid right now. There's no reason to be afraid even then, because Yahweh Shai is going to put his spirit on you, man. His spirit's on you right now, but it's going to go into a whole different levels, man. All right? So you're not going to be afraid when destruction comes. Hey, man, you got to have faith. Faith is what's going to deliver you. That's key, man. That is key to your salvation. And it's a gift. Not everybody have faith, man. And the question you got to be asking yourself, what do you have faith towards, man? Do you have faith towards Yahweh Shai, or do you have faith to yourself? Do you have faith to your own strength, to your legs, to your money, to your woman, to this government? Who's your strength, man? That's what you have to be asking yourself. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith. It tells you that in 2 Corinthians chapter 13, man. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith, man. Now, I ain't saying that if you're scared or not. I'm just making a point, man. Because the Lord tells us what it just said right there. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh, man. That you have to have a heavy spirit on you to not be afraid when destruction comes, man. The examples of the three brothers that were with Daniel, man, Meshach, Abednego, and Shadrach. All right, they were cast into that fiery furnace, man. But they weren't destroyed. Why? Because Yahweh Shai was with them, man. Read the account of that in the book of Daniel, man. Just lifts up your spirits, man. To know how these holy men were delivered from the mouth of the lions and things of that nature, like Daniel. Samson was destroying thousands of Philistines, destroying lions. King David destroying a lion and a bear and a great warrior known as Goliath. You got to read these accounts to how you build up your faith, man. And then at that, the Lord is telling you, So going back to Job chapter 5, verse 22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. You see? So you got to have a heavy spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to be on you, to be that way. You know? Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. You know, you're going to be all right. You're going to be good. Why? Because you have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. The deliverance is simultaneously going to be with the destruction, man. You got to understand that. The primary destruction that's going to be used, the instrument of death, is that fire. The thermonuclear destruction that's going to be put upon the face of the whole earth, man. Or primarily over here in America. But when you go over there, in the Middle East, there's gonna be a war over there, because it talks about it in Joel chapter 3, the valley of Jehoshaphat, Megiddo, or Armageddon, the valley of troops, or the mountain of troops. You got to understand that it's not going to end right here. It's going to continue over there as well. There's going to be destruction over there too. You have to understand these things, man. That's why it's important to ask brothers questions. Stop being proud. Stop playing that like the brothers make videos about. Stop trying to act like you're in that that lone wolf spirit, man. That we ain't dealing with that lone wolf spirit shit. You got to get on board. You ask questions, you know. This is in the book of Sirach, chapter 34, verse 13. I'm going to start at verse 13. The spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live. You see, the spirit of those that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua shall live. You're going to live, man, because the Lord ain't the God of the death. He's a God of the living, man. Though he controls and governs death and life and the living, but the point is that he's about life. He's about life eternal. All right, that's why when he was breaking down, giving them a parable about his body being as manna, his body being as bread. That was a parable, man. He was speaking about the words that he was speaking out, man. People didn't understand or comprehend that, man. He said that if you eat of this bread, you should never hunger. It's like going to the Samaritan woman in the well. All right, in John chapter 4, he told her that you shall never thirst if you drink of this water. What water was he talking about? He's talking about his words, man, his wisdom. Because out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, man, talking about the spirit. All right. So going back to Sirach 34 and 13, the spirit of those that fear Yahweh shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them. See? So we have faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. He's going to save us, man. That's what his name Yahweh Shai means. He is salvation. He delivers. You got to believe in that wholeheartedly, man. Verse 14, Sirach 34 and 14. Whoso feareth Yahweh shall not fear nor be afraid, for he is his hope. For he is our hope, man. He is our anchoring of our soul, along with our faith. All right, we are prisoners of hope, and we hope in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to deliver us from this coming destruction, which is fire. It's going to be destroyed by fire, man. By the way of fire, man. And this ain't no ordinary fire. This is the ICBM missile, man, that all these different nations are talking about having and packing, man. Thermonuclear destruction is coming to America, man. They're going to be used. They will be launched out of the silos. They will be dropped here in this land, because this land is polluted by blood, man. It says, Sirach 34 and 15, blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord, to whom doth he look, and who is his strength. That's what I was saying. You got to see who's your strength, man. Who's your faith based and directed towards? Is it to this government? Is it to your own self? Or is it to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man? You have to really examine yourself whether you be in this faith. All right? But that's all good, man. There's times where brothers mess up on scriptures. But you're going to be counseled on it. You're going to be given the right answer. The brother's going to tell you, hey, man, you got that wrong, but let me break it down to you a little bit more deeper. All right? Because that's why I made mention at the beginning of the lesson is that the scriptures can be multifold at times, man. They can help shine light into different situations. It's not just one way sometimes. You got to understand what's going on in that time. You got to understand what it's talking about history, or if it's applying to future prophecy. All right? Because eventually, Israel is going to be put into their own land. We are gonna have our own land. We're gonna have our own planet, man. You know, we ain't gonna have these little portions of lands like it was whenever we're taken out of Egypt. You know, we're gonna have greater things, more than what the mind can comprehend, man. So it is future probably. We are gonna have our own land, but not right now. We're not all gonna go to our own land, because you gotta consider, especially Judah. Judah don't got their land. All right, where is our land? Over there. If you want to be specific, that's our land. This land ain't ours, man. We belong over there in the Middle East, in the Fertile Crescent, the cradle of civilization, man, which is the Garden of Eden, Aidan, paradise. Which really get deep with that, because, like I said, you have to be spiritual. You have to be guided by a man to teach you and understand things. The Aidan is not only just applying to the Garden of Eden over there, but it applies to the whole earth for us to enjoy. But it's not that way. All right? But now it's going to be changing to that way. So it said, verse 15, blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord, to whom doth he look, and who is his strength. See? So who is your strength? Who's going to deliver you? Who's your deliverer? You know? Who's your resource of strength and confidence and that you're going to have the ability to laugh at destruction when it comes, man? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 16, for the eyes of the Lord are upon them that love him. He is their mighty protection and strong stay. See? He is our mighty protection and strong stay, man. He is our 401k. He's that umbrella of coverage that he's going to cover us in all circumstances, man. You got to believe that wholeheartedly, man. It's about faith, man. It's about faith when it comes to this book. All right? A defense from heat and a covering from the sun at noon. A preservation from stumbling and a help from falling. See? So he's a defense from heat. So he's going to defend us from the wet heat that's coming. ICBM missiles, man. That fire. And where are we going to find coverage? In the chariots, man. That's why I said in Isaiah, when it commands us to go up into our chambers. All right, let's talk about the chariots. And let indignation pass over. All right, that's talking about when the indignation that passes over is talking about the ICBM missiles. Okay? Bring it out. Salaki, bear with me, brothers. But calm, man, you know, you gotta have faith in this word. You gotta have faith that you will be caught up in the chariot. It's like Elijah. You know, Elijah, he was caught up in the chariot. You know, Enoch was caught up in the whirlwind, which is a chariot, man. That was just another way of calling those crafts. Calling those crafts that, man, you know. Let's see here. All right, this is in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 19. Thy dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. And you can't notice, if you notice, you've been listening properly, you'll see that it's always talking about being risen up. It's time to rise up, you know. And how in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 or verse 2, where it said that they're going to lie in the dust. They shall be in the dust. But some are going to rise up in everlasting life, and some to everlasting contempt. Okay, that's what it's talking about, man. It's talking about thy dead men shall live. Talking about the elect that are dead and not knowing who they are as a people. They're going to rise up, man. All right? It said, together with my dead body shall they arise. Because Yahweh Shai, he's the one that laid down his life for us. And through his resurrection and gaining power through the resurrection and coming back to life, we live through him, man. And that's why he commands us to rise up. The valley of dry bones, the same thing, same scenario, man, as far as like us waking up to our to the truth. It says, awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust. See, awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust, man. That confused state. We're being woken up. We're coming out of these graves, man. We're coming out of being off these streets, left there to be ran over, like if we're some type of some roadkill, man. Because I'm gonna bring out that one scripture in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, to prove that, man. It says, "Awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust, for thy dew is as the dew of the herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as if it were a little moment, until the indignation be passed over." That's talking about going into those chariots, man. It's not talking about going into your own house or underground bunkers. Because you read the book of Amos chapter 9, it talks about those that are trying to hide, that they're going to be sought out and killed and destroyed, man. All right? "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment," because it's going to be a little moment. Because read Revelations, how long is it going to take the Lord to destroy Babylon? An hour. Until the indignation be passed over. Until the indignation be overpassed, Laki. All right. The indignation means righteous judgment. So what is he going to use to rightfully judge America, Babylon? The ICBM missiles, man. "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." You see, because everything's going to be judged. Everything's going to be made right by the return of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, that's why it says in Numbers, was it 35? Go ahead and bring it out. It's a book in the book of Numbers, 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land. Right, so blood has defiled this land. All right, no longer is the earth going to disclose that blood. Everything's going to be brought up to the surface, and it's going to be purified and purged out, man, made clean. Okay, America's going to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear destruction, man. All right, and it's people that are here are going to be caught up in the chariot, man. We're going to be delivered out of this place. It says, "For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." That's right. So Esau has to die. And whoever else took part in destroying Israel, they're going to die. All right, here in the land of America. You have to consider that and understand that, man. All right. So, let's see where it was at. I'm going to read that one more time. Isaiah 26 and 21. "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity." And what place is he referring to? He's talking about from the heavens. All right, he's going to come and crack them skies and clouds and come through and start doing what he has to do. "The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." That's right, man. All right. So going back to Isaiah 11 and 12, "And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth." Like I said, that's going to be through that sounding of the trumpet. In the twinkling of an eye, we're going to be caught up with them in that chariot, man. All of us. "The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim." Meaning that's who our people, because we're a people before a place. So we're going to run to each other, the elect. We're going to run to our own, man. Whether it be so-called Latino or Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, the Lord is going to gravitate us to one another, man. Because we're going to know that we're all as one people. All right? It's like now, we're waking up to it, man. Judah ain't fucking with squabbing with Mexicans nowadays, you know? They're all just interacting with one another, you know. But in that time, that's how it's gonna be, you know. It says, so yeah, come. We're not gonna envy each other. We're gonna be dealing with each other. I'm talking about as far as the elect are going to be the ones that are meant to receive this truth. They're going to gravitate. The Lord's going to guide them to us, and vice versa. You know, but ultimately we're all going to be caught up in the chariot in that time. You know, those that are meant to receive that honor, that don't meet that death, because there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be brothers that are going to be martyred out here, man. They're going to be martyrs. Okay. So going back to Job, chapter 5, verse 23, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. And it says, and thou shalt visit thy habitation. What habitation is it talking about? Israel. That's where we're going to be, and we're not going to sin. There ain't going to be no more of that shit in the kingdom anymore, man. So we're going to have to go through all these things to make it there, all right? To make it into a chariot. That's the ultimate deliverance, man. All right? This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? And that's what's the end of them? That fire, man. It tells you that in Thessalonians. That's what we're trying to escape, man. All right? And it's going to be by doing what we're doing now, hoping that we're the elect, being sealed and covered, and leading us all the way to the end, where we're going to be caught up in the chariot. He that endureth to the end shall be saved. All right? When the Lord is ready and he sounds that trumpet, he gives that green light, that's when it's going to happen. This is 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, and to you who are troubled, rest with us. See? And that's what we're doing, man. We're trying to get those to rest with us. We're trying to get to that point of resting, which is going to be in the chariot. All right? You're going to rest now in the sense of you're going to receive this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as a form of hope. Because these people don't got no hope, man. Their hope is in vain. Not knowing they're marked for death, man. At least we have some kind of hope. You know? Everybody else is done. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, and to you who are troubled, rest with us, when Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. See? So you're going to rest with him in the chariots, man. And the simultaneous destruction's coming. That's where you're going to go into your chambers and for a little time until the indignation overpass, man. All right? This is what it's talking about. And to you who are troubled, rest with us, when the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels, and flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not Yahweh, and that obey